So in this clip, we're going to see Piers Morgan and Dr. Mustafa Barghouti have a conversation and get some deep insights into the new law that it is that Israel has passed that's going to allow them to offer capital punishment to Palestinians and Palestinians alone. This has sent shockwaves all around the world. So it's going to be very, very insightful, this conversation is. As usual, let's watch it in full. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts towards the end. So let's get into it.
Joining me now is the Palestinian political leader, Dr. Mustafa Barghouti. Welcome back to Uncensored. I just want to read what you published on X. You said the Israeli Knesset's approval of a law allowing the execution of Palestinian prisoners is a racist, fascist and dangerous escalation that directly threatens thousands of Palestinian detainees and further entrenches Israel's apartheid system and policy of collective punishment. And that comes along with Amnesty International, who said the law creates a dual legal system because Palestinians in the West Bank face the death penalty as a default in military courts. Well, Israeli settlers in the same territory are tried in civilian courts where the penalty is discretionary and harder to apply. So there is a two-tier legal system clearly being established here. What is your response to this?
Well, exactly. Two different systems of laws for two people living on the same land is apartheid. That's how you classify and identify apartheid. But it is a much worse apartheid than the one that prevailed in South Africa. Even in the worst time of South African apartheid system, nobody dared to say that if a black man kills a white man, he will be executed. But if a white man kills a black man, he will not be judged. That's exactly what this Israeli law says. It's first of all, it's illegal by international law because Israel has no jurisdiction over occupied territories, as international law says. Second, it is legalizing what is already going on of executing Palestinians. You know, since October 7th, in Israeli jails, in the West Bank and in Israel, 90 Palestinian detainees have already been killed, either by torture, either by starvation, or by deprivation of medical treatment. And more than that, to prove that it is a system of discrimination, there are two very interesting figures. 99% of Palestinian cases taken to Israeli courts are convicted, 99%, while 96% of any Israelis attacking Palestinians or conducting violence will never be convicted. As a matter of fact, out of 10,000 cases of Israeli terrorists, settlers, gangs attacking Palestinians, out of 10,000 cases, only 8 were convicted. So clearly, this is a system of discrimination. But more than that, I said that this law shows how far and how fast the Israeli establishment has gone in the direction of fascism. Imagine, not only they pass such a terrible law, which is considered a war crime by international community, but more than that, they are celebrating it, drinking drinks, celebrating the passage of the law and putting on their chests, men and women, Israeli members of the parliament, putting on their chest, whether they are men or women, symbols and pins of hanged man's knots. Yeah. The rope that they will use to hang Palestinians.
It was disgusting.
Totally. And more than that, is that the Israel that some Western governments say it's the only democracy in the Middle East? Is this democracy?
Well, it's not. It's not democracy. I think when you have a two-tier legal system, that is not democracy. You know, I live in an actual democracy here in the UK, and everybody is treated the same way under the law. There is no two-tier law. If there was a law brought in specifically for one ethnic group that didn't apply to others, all hell would break loose. And yet this seems to have been widely accepted and applauded by most of the Israeli population, according to the polls I've seen.
And that's what worries me more than anything else. It's not just the Israeli government that has moved towards fascism. It's not just the Israeli governing establishment, including 2/3 of the Israeli members of the Knesset, the Israeli Jewish members of the Knesset, but it's the whole society. 90% of the society supports the war now. And the vast majority support such a terrible law. That is dangerous. If I was an Israeli, I would worry very much, because this fascism will not only hurt Palestinians and kill Palestinians as they are doing, it will eat up the Israel from within. And that's why some people in Israel are protesting, because fascism is never good for anybody. And this fascism would not have grown so fast and so big if it wasn't for the world's abstention from establishing sanctions on Israel for committing genocide, for committing collective punishment and starvation against the people of Gaza, for allowing Israeli terrorist gangs to move around and attack every day 10 to 12 communities, burning houses, burning cars, shooting people. That's the result of the weakness of the international community and the absence of sanctions on Israel.
Mustafa Barghouti.
Honestly, ever since I started this channel, one of the things that I've heavily spoke on is Israel and what Israel are doing around the world. And this one for me is a bit of a shocker. And this is where I'm going to need a lot of you guys, my audience's help here. I don't understand how the world can once again sit by and allow Israel to get away with this the exact same way they got away with Gaza. I don't understand how. First and foremost, the fact that this law only applies to Palestinians, but it explicitly exempts Jewish Israelis for the exact same crimes. How on earth did something like this even come to pass? How? I can't understand it. I can't wrap my head around it, and it makes no sense. Now, from my own research that I found, I know the Dr. I don't want to butcher his name, Dr. Barghouti, I know that he said it was 99%, but from the research that I found, it said Palestinian military courts have a 96% conviction rate, and often they are based on coerced confessions. And the thing that makes it even worse is this: there's no ability to be able to appeal. And it's a fast execution. Hanging will typically take place within 90 days, and they can't appeal the decision. The UN have called it a war crime because it violates international law obligations as an occupying power. But the thing I don't understand is this: the UN keeps saying it's this, keeps saying it's that. The ICC, they say Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal. What can actually be done about it? Let me know in the comment section below. What can actually be done about it? Because I see no movements being made, and I see nothing happening to right these wrongs. Nothing at all. You know, the fact that Ben Gvir and the other elected officials, they celebrated. This is absolutely mental stuff. And this is the question that it is that I want to ask you guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this, please. I'm not advocating for no one taking out any elected official, but if America can go in and they can kill any elected official they want, that's evil. Why can another nation not do that to someone like Ben Gvir? These people that are doing actual evil things and evil crimes. Let me know. Answer that in the comment section for me, please, guys. I'm genuinely intrigued to hear your perspective and your point of view on that. But it's disgusting stuff. Israel is the first country to adopt capital punishment in the 21st century, and that is a historic regression. We're meant to be focusing on moving forward as a world, but you've got Israel consistently rolling back the progress that it is that's being made. Look at what it is that they've done to Gaza. Look at what it is that they're trying to do and trying to achieve within Iran. Look what it is that they're trying to do within Lebanon. And now they're going to turn around and they're going to put Palestinians to capital punishment. This is nasty work. And Benjamin Netanyahu, once again, having his hand in this, only backed this to keep his far-right coalition alive so he could stay in power, so that he could continue waging his war and keep himself out of prison. Disgusting, disgusting stuff. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this exchange in the comment section below. I'm not even going to ask for thumbs up and stuff like that, because I believe this is a dark day. This is a very, very, very dark day. See you guys in the next one.